Toni Gallatin, and this is my lovely co-host,
Shirley Tyler.
And welcome to the Toni Talk
Show. Hello, everyone. I wanted to discuss today about pursuing your dreams. What does it mean to pursue your dreams and your goals in life? It means to take action, to move swiftly, to not be afraid, to step out on faith. That's what pursuing your dream means to me and to many others. It's so interesting. I think about when I was young. I always have to gear back to when I was a little girl. How I used to, you know, how sometimes when you're young, Toni, you kind of in the room and you're playing by yourself or whatever, or you might be watching your favorite TV show. And I used to watch Wonder Woman with Linda Carter.
Who didn't? Yeah.
I love Wonder Woman because she inspired me to be something great. You know what I mean? To have this power within myself that, you know, I can do anything. And not only looking at her, also looking at like Diane Carroll. What's the young lady name that had the big, beautiful... she was a beautiful actress, and I can't even think of her name right now. But just
Pam Grier.
Yes, Pam Grier. That's what I wanted to speak of. But just looking at some of those individuals really inspired me as I would look within myself at a young age and say, you know, I want to be something great. I want to be something that can motivate others, and that, you know, that can be a positive influence where, you know, someone else will want to, you know, step out on what they hold dear within their heart. So, Toni, with this particular topic, what would be your take on this, pursuing your dream and pursuing your goals?
Gosh, there's so many things, but the most important thing that can come to mind right now is not letting anyone step on what it is that you know that you've been gifted by God to do.
Exactly.
We have the ability to do anything we want to do. We just have to set our mind to it, and we have to know it and know why we want to do it. And I was talking with my nieces earlier today, and it was like, you know,
wow.
that why always outweighs how. If you have a good enough reason why you want to do something, how will come. And you don't have to worry about it. It will just line up for you, especially if your dreams are in line with what God has gifted you to do. And then there's no stopping you. You can't allow any naysayers to come in and say, well, you know what, I don't think you're that good at singing, I don't think you're that great of a dancer.
Really?
Man, if they would have, you know, Michael Jordan wouldn't be who he is.
Exactly.
If he didn't continue to constantly practice and practice and practice. And you almost have to do what it is that it takes for you to pursue these dreams, because sometimes all you have is God and yourself.
Exactly.
And that's all you need, to be honest.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks of you, what anyone else thinks you should do, what they say. You keep pushing on and practicing and practicing and envisioning yourself being what it is in its totality of what it is that you dream to be.
Right. And also thinking about this and talking about this, what are some of the things? There's one thing that I know that can prevent us from reaching our dream and our goals that we have within us: the spirit of fear.
Spirit of fear.
The spirit of fear is the number one thing that is a major setback on so many people, where they won't step out and do, you know, what they feel like that they're called to do, you know, that's been birthed inside of them. What would you say, Toni, about dealing with this word fear?
Well, most often you have to know where the fear comes from.
Okay.
And most often your fears come from your upbringing, perhaps, people that are on the outside of you, that have instilled maybe perhaps their fears in you. things that they were afraid of when they were younger, and why they didn't step out and do the things they wanted to do because they were afraid, and the fears were put in them by perhaps the generation before them. And I always say there's several big influences on you as a child. It's your parents.
Exactly.
It's religious leaders and teachers. These three entities can easily make or break a child. And most often when you have these fears, they're put inside of you by someone that was in authority. Okay? But and also, confidence can be also embedded in you through these same authority figures. So let's say that it's not. The authority figures kind of told you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that, or you're not capable of doing this, and I wouldn't do that if I were you. I don't think you're going to make it.
Right.
Well, know in your gut, because we all know God puts it in us, what it is that we know we're good at and what we really, really want to do in life. So when God puts that in you, you don't let no one stop. You don't let your mama, your daddy, your preacher, your teacher. You don't let no one stop you, because that's between you and your higher power.
Right. The spirit of negativity.
And that's all you need. That's all you need. You push forward. Sometimes we're afraid of success. You know, we scared. Oh, if I get successful, what am I going to do? Am I going to be able to do it? Am I going to be, how are you afraid of success? It'll work itself out.
It will.
It'll work itself out. You have to just trust in your higher power and trust in yourself and know that you have everything it takes. And I cannot stress that enough, that God has put in you every single thing it takes for you to succeed in life on the path in which He has chosen for you and blessed you to do. So forget a naysayer. It's always going to be somebody that's going to be critical of you. But being critical of you is just them and their opinion.
Exactly.
And it's based on their shortcomings. It's based on their life, because they are not in your head, they're not in your life, so they cannot tell you what is right or wrong, what you can do and what you can't do.
Right.
That's only based on them. And I tell people all the time, you take someone's opinion, you don't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's what your opinion is of yourself that matters.
Right. Wow.
So you push forward.
Right.
And you keep pushing forward every day, taking a step toward what your dreams are. And you will eventually reach them and accomplish what it is that you choose to accomplish. And I don't care how old you are. Because sometimes we can get woe down and it sticks with us.
Right.
From our childhood. It may stick with us till we're in our 40s, sometimes in our 50s, in our 60s. That's why you have people that will graduate and get PhDs when they're 90. Because it ain't never too late.
Exactly. Come on.
Maybe it took them to 90 to realize that they can accomplish anything they want to accomplish.
Exactly.
Maybe, it took them to then. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. As long as you head out toward that direction, you keep taking steps and don't let anybody tell you cannot, because you are capable of doing anything anybody else could do in this world.
That's right. Piggyback on what you said earlier, the negativity, you know what I mean? We have to make sure that we're not being negative ourselves, which sometimes it happens, you know what I mean? But we have to blow the negativity voices, blow all the loud noise out your mind, out of your ears, out from your eyes. Even if you're around someone or connected to someone that doesn't motivate you or inspire you, you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to pull yourself away from them. You understand what I mean? Because you know what? This thing that's in you, let me tell you what a dream is. It's a passion. It's a desire. For me, it's like you eat this dream, you sleep this dream, you get up, you wake up with it, So there's something there because, as you said earlier, the Creator has birthed this within you. You was born with this, you know what I mean? And you have everything in you to do it and to succeed. And so someone may ask the question, well, Miss Shirley or Sister Shirley or Shirley girl, well, what if I don't succeed in it? What if I fail or whatever? You know what? If you fall, if you didn't succeed in it the first time, get yourself back up and try again. Am I right?
And again.
And again.
And again.
And again. There are so many people that I have looked at and have admired that have went through some downfalls, some pitfalls, but they got themselves back up. They found some ounce of strength and say, I'm doing it again, because that thing is still with you. You know what I mean? And then there may be some times that you may be going to something that's really not where, how can I say, God is leading you to, but maybe you just saw something or saw someone else do it and you want to do it. You really have to dig deep within yourself and find what it is that you was born with. You know what I mean? Exactly. Gifted, born with. You know, what is your purpose in this life? So we have to find the strength and find the willpower to say, you know what, I'm going to step out and do whatever it is, whatever I desire, whatever in me that, you know, that keeps, you know, coming up, and say, I'm going to do this. The other thing is that I notice that why sometimes people don't step out in their on their dreams and their goals is because they feel like, as we were mentioned earlier, that we don't have enough. Well, I don't have this and I don't have that. I think about when I know that I wanted to sing and act, you know, as far as in the entertainment. I started in school. I participated in school plays. I got in the school choir. My grandmother made sure that I was in the church choir, you know, that I did things in the church. That's where you can start, you know, those small beginnings, you know what I mean? Your road to your dream and to your goals to reaching your success, you know?
Most definitely. We know early on what it is that we've been kind of gifted to do. In small children, you start to see talent. And sometimes perhaps that talent can be cultivated through a parent or a guardian or whatever. And sometimes it could be snuffed out. But it's still there. It's like this unrelenting urge to do whatever it is that we were gifted to do.
Right.
And with what we want to do and what God has gifted us to do falls in line. Like I said earlier, there's no stopping you. But you have to not be afraid. You have to not worry about what someone's going to think, what someone's going to say.
Exactly.
Don't allow anyone to tell you how to achieve your goals, because you're going to get sometime people will come into your life and they can tell you how to live your dream better than you can live your dream.
Exactly.
Nobody can tell you how to be more talented than what God has put inside of you for you.
Right.
Now, they can be talented for themselves and they can assist you and help you with some information that perhaps they have that maybe they've experienced, but they can't tell you exactly how to do it because God already has put in you what it is that you need to do to pursue your goals. They may go this way and you may have to go that way to get what it is that you want.
Exactly.
But you have to really connect with that higher power. Like I tell you, always develop and build and cultivate your relationship with God, your higher power, and he will guide you. Things will just open up for you. And don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed, don't be scared to make a mistake. We all make mistakes. We all have our shortcomings.
Exactly.
We all have something that we feel sensitive about or that we feel is a shortcoming for us.
Exactly.
But we don't dwell on that. You dwell on the positive things, the things that you know is good about you.
Exactly.
And just as well as we all know what our shortcomings are, we know what our gifts are.
Exactly.
And that's what you hold on to.
Exactly.
And you build that.
Exactly.
And you build from that.
Exactly.
And you continue to cultivate what it is that you know you already have. And all those little shortcomings, they'll end up falling by the wayside. And they will be overshadowed by the greatness in you and all the positive things that you have.
And also I want to expound on don't be discouraged because you're not where you feel like that you should be. I'm keeping it real, taking the mask off, taking the cloth off myself. So many times, you know what I mean? We are human. We all are human. No one is above going through emotional, you know, feelings and situations, you know what I mean, in our lives. You know, there are some times that you may have a spirit of discouragement, but you have to find your way back to that place that I can do this. You know what I mean? There may be doors that may be closed. You know what I mean? There may be many no's before there be a yes. You know what I mean? But you just got to trust yourself and trust God's guidings, the higher being, the creator who you believe in, that is going to help get you to that place where you are supposed to be. And as Toni had mentioned earlier, don't worry about your age all the time. It's not about your age, because there are sometimes we have obstacles, we may have opposition, it can be a health situation can set us back, it can be a financial situation that can set us back, or whatever the issue may be. Rise up and get back in the run, get back in the push, to reach, that is inside of you, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Pick yourself up and get back in a race.
Exactly.
That's life.
Exactly.
Yeah, and man, it's surely you're all fired up.
Yeah.
But it's just so important, to just focus on the positive about you. Mm-hmm. I always say that if you focus on the negative will show up to support that. Mm-hmm. If you focus on positive things will show up to support the positive. Mm-hmm. So if we just really just stay focused on what it is that we want to do and not discourage ourselves and not allow anyone else to discourage us. Mm-hmm. Because God wants the best for us. Mm-hmm. And we have that option. We get to choose to have the best.
Exactly.
It's times where it looks like things are not the way you want it to be. Mm-hmm. But that's just a part of life. Mm-hmm. In life, you have blessings and you have lessons.
Exactly.
So if it's not a blessing that something happened to you, it becomes a lesson, something that you learn from. Mm-hmm. So look at it like that. Don't look at it as a curse or a hindrance or a problem. It's a blessing or a lesson. We all are put here to learn. And when we learn our lessons, we get blessings. Mm-hmm. So it's just that simple. Look at life as a blessing or a lesson and keep on pushing on forward.
Yes.
To the mark.
Yes.
And don't let anybody discourage you.
Yes.
And don't discourage yourself, because sometimes we can be our worst enemies based on what we've been taught as coming up as children. Mm-hmm. So we have to push that to the side, shift that paradigm, and know that it's now on our watch, and we get to dictate what it is that we want to do in life and how far we want to go in life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes there's individuals that may have had a family early on, mm-hmm. and they have to push their careers back a little bit and their dreams and
exactly.
push them back because they had a family early on.
That's true.
Because maybe no one told them that it wasn't a good idea to get pregnant when they were a teenager or something. And maybe their mother did it or whatever, and no one told them that was a bad idea or how to prevent that from happening. So that doesn't mean you any less of a person than anybody else. You just had your family early, and now you're young enough to still pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue. Mm-hmm. Young men may have, did some things that they shouldn't have done and got themselves thrown into juvie or did a little stretch in the clinker. Mm-hmm. But it's still not too late. You come out of there, you learn your lesson, and you start pursuing what it is that God has gifted you to do. Mm-hmm. Mandela went to jail for 26 years, came out and became the president of South Africa. Now, you tell me you can't do anything in this world, come on now.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. You just have to have the heart to do it, and know your how is more important than your know that your why is more important than your how. Right.
And I was thinking about, we can't be intimidated neither. About because we see somebody that seem as if they is going far ahead of us, and we've been trying to do this thing for so long or whatever, you know what I mean? You just got to really keep the faith, believe in yourself, stay persistent. There may be times and seasons that you might have to take a rest for whatever for whatever reason that may be, but don't give up. Stay persistent. Persistence, I'm learning more and more, persistent and consistency is the number one thing to whatever you're trying to do in life. Is very, very important. You know what I mean? And feed your mind, feed your spirit. Get even if there's someone that you admire or whatever, you know, that can continue to inspire you, you know what I mean, on what you're trying to do, you know what I mean? Keep that before you, you know what I mean? So, yeah. This topic had really meant a lot to me and to Toni as well, because we are here to encourage, to build up, not to tear down anyone, but to just speak life and also to be real, you know what I mean? Because we have to, how can I say, we have to deal with the natural and the spiritual side of things, you know, because all that balance out together. So today, I just want to let someone know that you are important. You are beautiful. You are great. You are everything that God has made and created you to be. And don't allow anyone, as Toni said, anything, not even yourself, break your confidence down. You look in that mirror and say, I can and I will. And I'm going to put this scripture in your ear. You can do all things through Christ, through Almighty God, through the Almighty Creator, through Jehovah, the God that formed you into this life and thought fit for you to be here. There is a purpose for you. There is a plan for you that He already have mapped out for you, and you don't allow nothing and no one take that from you and discourage you from doing that. I hope that this topic has really inspired someone today and has encouraged someone today and has really spoke to the hearts of those that need this. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in to the Toni Talk Show. My friend, do you have anything you would like to say?
Well, you pretty much closed the show out, but I do have one thing to say. Thank you very much. Knowing that, but let's just say whatever shortcomings you have, I just want to end it on this. Whatever your shortcomings are, and sometimes you may think, oh, why me or whatever, but why you is because God knew you were strong enough to handle it. God knew you were going to take that shortcoming and twist it around and help somebody else with it. That's why you.
Yes.
That's why you. So if you have something about you that you feel is less than perfect or different or wrong, know that you would not have had that affliction if God didn't know that you are the one that can handle that to help somebody else that may not know Him come through that same situation. So we take our shortcomings and we share them with the world, or share them with whoever God puts in our path. That's to right. Let them know they can conquer all, they can get through this, they can make it without them feeling like that they are destitute and it's the end of the world for them.
Yes.
So take your shortcomings, turn them around, turn the setback into a comeback, and let's keep loving each other and being strong in our own right. And somebody that you may not have anybody to encourage you, so at that point you encourage your doggone self. Trust in God and encourage yourself. So yes, that does sum it up. Now see, she want to jump in and say something else, but I'm gone.
And the most important thing that I want to just let someone know: don't die with that dream inside of you. Step out. Step out. You know, take the chance. You have to step out and take the chance. It's a sad thing to say I shoulda, coulda, woulda, or die. I know there are people that have died sadly because they did not do what they knew that they was born to do, because they kept finding these little things, to block them and stop them. Mm-hmm. Honey, you can't block what God has for you. Can't nobody block that. You understand what I mean?
Other than yourself, you can block it.
They can try.
But no one else can.
They can try.
Well,
but
it cannot succeed.
It won't succeed. It won't succeed.
So
we love you.
Encourage.
We appreciate you.